Hi everybody, welcome to my second vlog. Tonight I am headed out to see Star Wars, believe it or not. I'm seeing Star Wars A New Hope, but it's at a theater where the orchestra is actually going to play the score live right in front of us. So that's what I'm doing today. Today is February 2nd. It is a Saturday. Kurt and I are going to get some dinner and then go see our show tonight. It's actually my anniversary gift to him for our second anniversary to go see this show. So I'm really excited, so I'm going to take you along. She hates me. Hi everybody, happy Monday. I turned my hat around backwards so that I wouldn't have a weird shadow in my face while I filmed this. But hello, I am about to get my Monday morning workout started. I'm doing a little bit of chest and tries this morning. So I'll go ahead and put that in here. So yeah, that was just a little snippet of my workout. Yeah, she finally came to me. Hello. Say hi, Picky. This is Picky. Good yawn. Thank you. So I got a little bit of my workout in. It is actually already like 1 p.m. today, so I got a slow start this morning. Let's see. It is actually 2 p.m. I did not realize it was already 2 p.m. Anyway, this vlog has already kind of been just a strange mixture of things that I've been doing. Like Kurt and I went and saw Star Wars on Saturday, and I put a few clips of us getting some drinks beforehand. I didn't explain too much about that. So we went to a place called Old 502 Winery. It is a family favorite. For my family. It is a, and I'm getting text messages. It is a winery that my family and I have been going to for a few years now. But I put a few clips in there and I realized I never explained it, so there's a little backstory there. Other than just working out today, I've got a little bit of meal prep that I have started and will finish later on this evening once it's done in the crock pot, so I can show you all that when I finish it up. And I'm going to edit a few videos, catch up on some laundry. It's a Monday, so I gotta get things started off right, but I'll just show you things as I'm doing them today, and we'll see what comes out of this vlog. Okay, so I have just sat down to start a little bit of editing. I heated up my lunch. I have some leftover pork barbecue from a Super Bowl party that I had at my apartment yesterday. Some avocado, some roasted potatoes that I made like a few days ago, and some roasted broccoli that I also made a few days ago. So I'm going to eat this and do a little bit of editing. All right, so I definitely didn't realize that my battery was almost dead. So I'm going to film the meal prep part on my phone and we'll see how that goes. So what I ended up doing is that this crock pot had about 3 chicken breasts, a jar of salsa, and half of a cup of balsamic vinegar in here. I let that simmer for about 5 to 6 hours on high. And then I pulled the chicken breasts out and shred them and put them into these little bowls. And I just have some white rice, roasted broccoli, and that chicken. And that made a few portions, and it actually has some leftovers that I can use after I go through these. So I didn't want to leave you all hanging and not give you my meal prep, but here it is. All right, guys, welcome to Thursday, February 7th. Welcome to the floor of my bedroom. That's where we are right now. I need to seriously clean out my dresser. I have a lot of laundry folded that I don't have anywhere to put it. So we're gonna do that. Spring cleaning, even though it's February. Okay guys, I don't want to brag, but Marie Kondo is shaking. Oh my God. All right, so I did this drawer with all my t-shirts, and I did this drawer with like my workout and pajama pants, some more t-shirts and shorts over here. And I am so happy to have all of my laundry finished. Hi everybody, welcome to Friday, February 7th. I just got back from getting my hair done, so that's why I'm looking all sleek and straight. I don't wear my hair straight very often, but she put this lovely red color in it, which you can kind of see because I have my window open over here, so you can kind of see that. But I like it a lot. I think she did a great job. But I actually have to do some of my makeup now, so I thought I would talk you all through it and talk through the Ted Bundy documentary that I saw last week. And I've seen other people talking a lot about it, and I wanted to chit-chat with how I felt too. Anyway, I didn't even grab my makeup bag. What the heck? All right, so I'm gonna prime my face again I'm gonna do Maybelline Baby Skin Pore Eraser because that's what I have, because that's what I saw first in my bag, to be honest. And I have a little bit left. So my boyfriend and I watched the Ted Bundy documentary, the new one on Netflix, not the Zac Efron one, but I'm pumped about that one. But, and I had some feelings about it. I enjoy true crime. I listen to a lot of true crime podcasts, so this is kind of right up my alley. And it was weird. Yes, Ted Bundy is a weird person because he's a serial killer, and I don't know many serial killers that weren't weird, but there are a few things that really bothered me. So I'm going in with the Born This Way by Too Faced in the color Nude. That's what I'm putting on right now. But the first episode was no fun at all. Honestly, I didn't like it. I thought it was really boring. Mostly about like his childhood and stuff. And you know, it's weird because Ted Bundy never claimed that he had a bad childhood. There were some things that could have pointed to him possibly having some kind of physical or mental abuse. He did find out at a fairly young age, like in his early teens, that he was an illegitimate child, so his father was not his biological father. That'll mess with you. I mean, the age of 13 is pretty integral in your personality and finding out who you are. That looks pretty good today. There's not going to be a lot that's going to be able to fix my under eyes today, though. I am tired. But what is really interesting to me is that I had listened to a podcast maybe a month ago or so, and it did feature Ted Bundy in the sense of they were talking about like the mind makeup of psychopaths. And Ted Bundy was really important in this study because he actually spoke to these scientists doing these experiments and was pretty straightforward with everything, with how a psychopath would think, how a psychopath would act. And one of the stories that this scientist told while talking about the mind makeup of a psychopath is that he, this particular scientist did a lot of research on brain imaging and MRI scans of people who were actually like convicted psychopaths, like in jail, prison, the whole 9 yards. And then later on in life, he did some work with Alzheimer's. So he asked his family if they would help to be the control study for the research that he was doing. So him and his entire family did scans. He's gone through and one night, he's like, I think one of my psychopaths ended up in this study because this is the brain of a psychopath. And, you know, his coworkers are like, no, I'm pretty sure. I mean, we can check, but I think that's the right stack. And he goes back, looks through it, pulls up some coding and figures out he's looking at his own MRI. His own MRI is telling him that he is a psychopath. So he delves back into his research with psychopathy and what made him be a successful person with a psychopath's brain. And you know, some other things in his life started to make sense. I'm going in with my Tartist contour kit and I'm just gonna contour a little bit. I'm not very good at contouring, so don't take anything that I'm doing as actual tutorials. What did I just, what? Okay. But a lot of what he figured out is that there are like actual, you know, your brain makes pathways that it talks to your body through. And a lot of those pathways don't start out the same, and depending on your childhood, your brain either makes certain pathways or never makes them or halfway makes them, etc. And what he kind of figured out is that during those childhood years, if you have any kind of traumatic, you know, obviously physical abuse, traumatic, like actual physical abuse, but emotional abuse, it can change your brain makeup to where your brain either makes false pathways or doesn't make pathways at all. So he thinks that his brain that because his childhood was good, he was able to make the right types of pathways in his brain to make him not a criminal, serial killer, psychopath. He did talk about how he sees different parts of him that could be something that a psychopath would go through, such as he lacked a lot of empathy. Like, he was married and had kids, and he would do things and his wife would be upset and he wouldn't feel bad about it. He was very like analytical about it and be like, well, she did this and I said this and that's what happened. You know, he didn't feel empathy or feel regret or feel guilty about things like that. But he didn't have any criminal background. So it was really interesting watching the Ted Bundy documentary after hearing this podcast and knowing that, you know, just the different brain makeup in his childhood could have had Ted Bundy result as an entirely different person, which is really interesting. There were a few things that really bothered me. Obviously, I knew about the crimes that he committed. Being a person that does like to watch true crime shows and like listen to podcasts, I know who Ted Bundy is. I know what he did. Watching his trial was really interesting. I did not know that he was his own defense lawyer for his trial. That blows my mind. I mean, that's something that a narcissist would do, obviously, but that just blew my mind when I found that out. So that was really interesting. It really bothered me that somebody let that happen, because that's bizarre. But also that at his execution, those tapes from the crowd before his execution, that bothered me a lot. I was very bothered by that entire notion that people were like selling t-shirts and pins. They had like a pin that you would like pin onto your shirt that was an electric chair. They had t-shirts that said "Burn Bundy Burn." That just really bothered me on like a moral level. I mean, what he did was not right, but I don't think you should celebrate his death like that. Like a celebration, like people getting drunk and selling t-shirts out of the back of vans. That's not very, that really bothered me. I was very bothered. And of course it's the last episode, so I'm just like already wholly bothered by the entire documentary. And that at the very end was bothersome. I knew that he had a child. I did not know about how he got married while he was in jail and had a kid while he was in jail. That really freaked me out. No thank you. I'm sorry, no thank you. Nobody wants that. But yeah, that was an interesting documentary to watch. I'd like to watch it again now that I've seen it, and kind of look at it again without the shock factor of finding out things I didn't know. And I'm super pumped about the Zac Efron movie. Super pumped. First of all, Zac Efron, he's beautiful. But that he's going to play that kind of role is really interesting to me. I know there's been a lot of drama on social media about casting him to play that role. But obviously the people who are upset by this don't know anything about Ted Bundy, because the man got away with everything that he got away with for so long because he was an attractive, affluent, well-spoken man who had the ability to talk himself out of a lot of situations. And I mean, people really didn't care if he did it or not. He was just cute enough that they were okay with it, which is mind-boggling to me. But I'm excited to see that. I think the story of Ted Bundy is really interesting. And being a nurse in the medical field, I think that like psychopathy is kind of interesting to learn about. Obviously not interesting because it's not a good thing, but interesting to learn about, and how like your brain makeup and the nerves and pathways and things like that, and how all that comes to be. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to say about that. I kind of missed talking about certain things, but I contoured and put on a little blush with the contour palette, and then I went in with a Tarte palette that I got from QVC in and then sparkled it up, because I like sparkles on my eyes. Sparkled it up with this Pure Be Your Own Selfie. Be Your Own Selfie. I went in with that. My eyeballs are still looking rough, so I might go in with some Tarte Shape Tape and make myself look like not a zombie for like 2 minutes. But I don't think it's gonna go very well, to be honest. I am meeting my mom for some drinks. I think she had a bad week at work, so I think it wasn't a bad week at work. I think that they ended up being short-staffed unexpectedly because somebody had a grandbaby that arrived a little too early. So, you know, not being prepared to go into a week short-staffed is no fun. But we're going to meet up for some drinks at 502 Winery. It's our go-to, as I mentioned earlier. Get a few drinks. I think the boys are meeting us. I think my dad and Kurt are going to meet us after they get off work, which is nice. And then I work this weekend, so I've got to gear up for the work weekend. And I'm really bummed because they're doing this, like, chocolate festival at this local place here, and I'm gonna miss it. It's like a Valentine's Day special. I'm gonna miss it. Bummed about that. This is the Thrive Cosmetics Brilliant Eye Brightener. I got this in my FabFit Fun box, and it's been nice to kind of highlight the inner corners of my eyes. I still look like a zombie, but this is as good as we're gonna get. Let me get into some eyebrows now. I really need to learn to put all my stuff out, but this was a last minute idea to film me getting ready to go. I thought that my hair appointment, sorry, I was out of frame. I thought my hair appointment was going to take longer than it actually did, so ended up having some more time. Okay. I use this little, I don't know if you can really even see it, but it's like a little, it's supposed to be like to make eyeliner, but I use it with a either really dark brown eyeshadow or the bronzer from a, oh, my mom's on her way to get me. Okay, well, we're gonna do this a lot faster. Oh, Lord. We're gonna do this a lot faster than I had anticipated. But I'm almost done anyway, so it kind of worked out. What was I even saying? Oh, I use like either the really dark contour color or a really dark matte eyeshadow. And I just kind of make a base with that. Honestly, my eyebrows, they get really long and fluffy. I actually have to go get them trimmed. I don't necessarily wax my eyebrows. I tweeze occasionally, but for the most part, I just have to get them trimmed. They kind of do their own shaping on their own. I don't mess with my eyebrows too much. I find that when I mess with my eyebrows too much, they get way too thin and I don't like it, or I obsess over them and it's just no fun. I'm gonna go in with Benefit Gimme Brow. I've had this forever. It's probably almost empty because I have to struggle to get some color out, but I'll go in with this and just kind of get all my flyaways and all those long eyebrow hairs. I can kind of like tape them back down to my face. Lastly, I'm gonna put on a little man-eater mascara, just a little bit. I get my eyelashes permed, so I don't have to do too much to get them, you know, like the length or the curl, but I do like to add a little bit of mascara just to kind of darken them up so they don't disappear, especially when I have eyeshadow on. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna set this with my Urban Decay All-Nighter, which is awesome. That was a purchase that I made on a whim and ended up loving it. But seriously, like, my mom is on her way to get me right now, so I'm gonna go. I might take a few clips there, but it's not going to be anything different than you saw earlier this week. But this might wrap up my vlog for this week, so I'll see you next vlog.